students, Miss Dioro here from Citizenship Academy with Module 7, Lesson 16 today. Now, for this lesson, you're going to be doing a lot of activities with either a ruler you have at home or the ruler that you made yesterday. So go grab either of those things, and then you're going to also want a piece of paper to record some measurements. Today is going to be a lot of you going around your house, going around wherever you are, and using your tools to measure. So make sure you have something to measure with and something to record your measurements with, and then we'll get started. Ready? So we're going to start off today with subtraction fast facts again. Now, subtraction facts again are important because we want to make sure we know those facts super fast. We can just do them right off the top of our heads so that when we start doing bigger and bigger problems with more and more difficult math, you got those facts. So same thing as yesterday, I'm going to show the fact. I'm going to snap my fingers and I want you to tell me the answer as fast as you can. Ready? Take a deep breath. Here we go. Starting with the whole of 13. Good. 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 Oh. Starting with now we're moving to a whole of 14. Whole of 14. All of these are going to be 14 minus a part. Nice doubles fact there. Moving to a whole of 15. 15 of a whole minus a part. Here we go. Good. Good. Nice. Whole of 16. 16 minus a part. Ready? Good. Use what you know. Doubles fact. Awesome. Good. All right, let's do it. So as I said, we're going to do a bunch of different activities. You're going to need your ruler, whichever ruler you're using, and you're going to need a recording sheet to write down all of your measurements. I'm going to give you the directions for the activity, and I want you to pause, go do it, record all your measurements, and come back to me. All right, and then we'll move on to the next activity. Your first activity. So you're going to measure the length of a family member's shins. Their shin is from the point of the top of their foot, so like their ankle to their knee. All right? You're going to use the most efficient measuring tool. That may be your centimeter. That may be your inch. Think about what would be the most efficient measuring tool to measure a family member's shin. The top of their ankle to the bottom of their knee. So pause, figure out the most efficient measuring tool, and go do it, and I'll see you when you're done. All right, what did you use? I'm hoping you used an inch instead of a centimeter, because otherwise you would have really tiny measurements. Make sure you write down whatever you got, and then we'll go on to activity 2. All right, activity 2, you're going to write down whatever you need. Today, for this one, you're going to estimate how 3 objects compare to a yardstick. And then if you have a yardstick at home, use it. Otherwise, use your ruler. So pick 3 objects and estimate what their measurement might be. And then I want you to use your ruler, whichever one you're using, to measure it. All right? So pause, go do that, and I'll see you in a minute. Any 3 objects. Since if you had a yardstick, you would probably choose to measure big objects. But if you don't have a yardstick, should you be measuring really big objects? Probably not, right? You want to measure a little bit smaller. So record those measurements, and we'll move on to activity 3. Here we go. All right. You are going to, same thing with this one, pick an object to measure. Doesn't matter to me. Could be a pen. Could be a card. Could be a phone. Doesn't matter to me. Pick an object to measure, and you need to decide what the best unit of measurement is. If it's a little tiny phone, maybe centimeters is the best. If it's a window, maybe feet is the best. If it's a card, maybe inches is the best. So pick one object in your house, doesn't matter to me what it is, measure it, write it down, tell me the units you used. So pause, do that, come back for the next one. All right, here we go. Activity 4. Okay, what I want you to do is you don't have to measure these objects. I want you to pick one object you might measure in inches, one object you might measure in feet, and one object you might measure in yards. For example, something small like a piece of paper or a book, you might measure with inches. Something like the length of a football field or the length of a playground, you might measure with yards. You don't have to actually measure these things, but I want a list. What will you measure with inches? What will you measure with feet? What will you measure with yards? Pause and write down your answers on your recording sheet. Good. All right, number 5. We're going to skip that one for now. So, if you use a ruler for your measurements, did you label them with inches? Did you label them with centimeters? Or did you label them with the foot? What did you use? Good. And this will depend on the objects you measured. If you were measuring smaller objects like the size of a pen, maybe you used a centimeter. If you were measuring a football field, if you went out there, you were probably using feet or yards to measure. So it's going to depend on the size of the object that you're measuring. What I would like you to do is send your teacher a picture of all the things you measured today and make sure you use the units. Because if you measured a football field and you said it was 3, I might think you're saying 3 centimeters. Would that be accurate? No, right? You want to make sure you include the units, whether it's centimeters, inches, feet, yards, whatever it is, put the units in there, and you're going to send your teacher a picture of your recording sheet today. Nice job, but keep measuring.